Buzz's Retirement Garage. It's that time of month, the end of the month, where we do our recap of our income versus our expenses. Again, 2 Social Security checks, and we're trying not to touch savings as best we can. Last year, hard to see the bottom. Let's see if we can just show you this. So last year, we took out about $892, let's call it $1,000 out of our savings for the entire year. And again, we didn't travel, we didn't have any major expenses. That's changed this year. So what's changed so far? Let's go through the numbers. But first, for those who need to know the facts right away, we'll go through it real quick. The totals, we'll just go right to the totals. So as you can see, we in 2024 was minus 892. So in January we were a plus 30. February plus 77. Last month we were minus 15, and this month we're minus 80. So without taking off my shoes, I think we're about 12 bucks ahead. That's not bad. But let's go through the numbers real quick. The property taxes, now $491, which a lot of you say is crazy high. And I agree with you, but we don't have any industry in our bedroom community. And I haven't applied for the homestead exemption yet, which I'll be able to apply and get $28,000 off the retail price of my home. So when they redo the taxes, they'll take $28,000 off for being over 65 and having an income under $40,000, which does not include Social Security. So my YouTube income will not affect the Homestead Act because my YouTube income is well below the $40,000. House insurance, $68 through State Farm. Water, we're at $21, so you can see it's kind of a tiered system, 21, 26, 21. Natural gas, finally starting to go down. We don't do a budget, we pay by the month, so it's $122. Electricity, 2 numbers almost the same. Kind of weird, but 92 and 92. I did switch to a variable plan through NOPEC. I know I did some videos and talked to some people. In Ohio and I think 7 or 8 other states, you can buy your own electricity and gas to some extent. And I opted to go with a variable plan because the long-term plans that I saw for fixed pricing for electric were just too high. They were in the 8 to 9 to 10 cent range through the Apples to Apples Ohio PUCO website. So I decided to go with a variable, which is 6%, always 6% below the cost that First Energy will provide you electric for. 6% below that cost. So I'm going to go with that, monitor it every month, and just see which way the wind blows before I make a long-term commitment. Universal Life, she has $200,000 on me when she snuffs me out, and I have $100,000 on her. That's basically, and you guys got to keep this in mind, if you're a couple, not single, but if you're a couple and you're both getting Social Security checks and nothing else, no pensions, no nothing else, you want to keep in mind that one of those checks will disappear. And now everything you've been doing, you're going to do with one less check. So for us, we did this in the 80s when we were young. We were paying for Universal Life. The policy paid for itself for many, many, many years because of the high interest rates back in the 80s. So now she pays $40 for her plan. I pay $160. Auto insurance, $56. I did get the, I call it the gizmo, the State Farm Drive Safely gizmo. Just hooked that up. I think I've got about 100 miles on it so far, maybe 67 to 100 miles, something like that. It's interesting. They automatically give you 10% off. So I'll have 10% off of that $56 for 12 months, times 12 months. I'm supposed to have 10% off, and then you can get up to 30% off. I don't know if this is going to work out for me. So far, my numbers are good so far, but it's early, so we'll see how that works out. But I'm going to try to do that to see if I can just, lower that number even lower, and that's for a 2018 car or crossover SUV, whatever you want to call it, in my area, Cleveland, Ohio. I know a lot of people say, wow, that's a good price, and it is a good price. All depends on where you're at, and, based on your crime rates, based on stolen car rates, and just all the things that they put into the factor. My area is pretty safe, I guess, and so they look at that, and that's part of the reason I've got a lower rate. Plus, I've been with them for 30 years, and they give me discounts because I have the insurance, the homeowners, and the car with State Farm. Medicare A and B, both my wife and I are on Medicare now. I started in January, so normally everybody's price is the same unless you make a lot of money, then you might pay a little more, but most of us are paying the $185 per individual. Plan N, we went with that over an Advantage plan. There's many reasons why we chose that, and we won't get into that in this video, but for now ours is $172 total for hers and mine. Mine, of course, being the male, I guess, is a little more expensive than hers, but not by much. And plus, when you have both of them through one company, at least with us with Cigna, they reduced our, they gave us a multi-discount, if you want to call it that. Plan D, I put it on there as 0, but I put it on there because some people don't opt for a drug plan because they think they can just go to GoodRx or do something different. But you can get penalized for that, and I don't know all the rules. Go look at medicareschool.com, or the Retirement Nerds, and check with those people and those people who do those videos. Marvin, I think, and I always forget the other guy's name at Retirement Nerds, but they do a good job on explaining Medicare and the associated things that go with that. Dental, 91. So we're going to keep that for now because we've had it for this is our second year. So in your second year of a lot of dental plans, you get the full coverage. How should I say that? Your coverage increases and it gets better. Yeah, the prices are a little high, but just pays, you get one crown, and a crown's $1,000. So if you can get 60% off a crown, it pretty much pays for itself. Now, if you do no dental work in a year, then, that doesn't make sense. But if you just go get one major thing during the year, it kind of helps pay for it. So we're going to keep that for now. I just have a blank there. I had the ACA in there when I was on the ACA last year. I don't need that in there now, so I'm just going to keep it as a blank space right now. Cable, 150. Yep, we're still on cable. Now, have we gone to YouTube TV? We're looking at what taxes, probably $90. And then the Indians or Guardians games, they have a special app now for $20. So, that's we're paying $150. So, yeah, there's like a $45 difference there, and that does matter. But so far, I'm losing the battle. I'm losing the battle of convenience. It's so convenient to put on the cable. I've got all the sports I want. I've got Max, what they say is free. I don't watch it that much, but I've got a lot of sports. I've got I think 15 sports channels. I've got all kinds of stuff that I can watch if I want to. YouTube TV is about the closest we can get to what we like. And again, that's about $90, I think, now. And so, yeah, there's a savings there, but I'm going to try to make it up in other ways. So, Mrs. Buzz is happy wife, happy life. T-Mobile Internet, still at 42. Now, I canceled my T-Mobile. We'll get into that in the next one. But the T-Mobile Internet has been working pretty good for us. I was hesitant at first because I didn't think I was getting some good upload or download speeds, and my upload speeds for my videos, they do take like 3 times longer, but where am I going? So I just do it on the Wi-Fi, and it's fine. The rest of it, I've had some glitches here and there, but for the most part, for 40, it's like 41.40. I listed at 42 just to round up. It's for $42 compared to $70, which our cable company was offering it for, which would have been faster speeds, but you know that little savings there, it's working out for us so far. UMA, we still have a home phone, UMA. It's through the internet, basically, so it's like an answering machine, the old-fashioned answering machine, and I have two phones with it, so that's $18 a month. Eventually that'll go away. I thought I had her convinced, but eventually that'll go away too. Now here's the cell phone. So a lot of you that watch my channel know I switched because T-Mobile added $5 to each of our lines, which I wasn't happy with. We were at $64. So they were going to jump that to $74. And I've been hearing over and over again about Mint Mobile and Visible and Consumer Cellular and Patriot Mobile. And there's a whole bunch of them out there. And I went with the Mint Mobile, and then we went with the track phone. One of our subscribers talked about the track phone, that she's having success with it. Mrs. Buzz doesn't use her cell phone as much as I do. She doesn't use the internet on it. She has a home computer that she kind of uses the internet for that, so she's not surfing on her phone. So the track phone just made sense, which is pretty cheap. So $64.64 for the two T-Mobile lines. Again, that was going to go to $74. We paid $97 this month because I'm paying for 1 month of service for T-Mobile for the phones, and I'm paying the extra for Mint and track phone. Next month, I won't have the T-Mobile charge, so I'll just have, I'll just have the Mint, and I'll just have the track phone costs. So that is going to reduce by about 50%. So instead of going up $10, I'm reducing the whole kit and caboodle by 50%. I'm good with that. And my service is fine. Mint Mobile is doing great. I'll put a link into the description. I've got a referral code. If you want to, sign up and get some off, great. It's working out for me, and it's on T-Mobile towers. And they also just started, I just saw it for the first time. Maybe they've done it before. But since Mint is connected to T-Mobile, they just keep separate books. Mint offered a T-Mobile internet line for $35. If you're a Mint customer, you can get their internet for $35. I'm paying $41, so you could get a little bit of a discount getting the 5G internet through T-Mobile by having Mint Mobile. So that might be an option for some of you that are looking to change your wireless carrier. Go to Mint and also pick up the deal on the T-Mobile internet. Gas for car, 23, 22, 29. Did a little bit of running around, but not bad. So I don't put a lot of miles on anymore. Restaurants, $3.89, $2.55, and $3.15. So we did have a couple. We had an opportunity to go out with my family and eat, and when they were in town, and we, a couple other restaurants. Restaurants are expensive, and you need to tip. You got to tip these restaurant people too. So when you're eating in, don't be cheap. Groceries, always a great topic. $9.26, $7.69, $9.26 again. I mean, I had to do that math twice, and I was like, really? It's the same. It's the same as 2 months ago. I said, I thought, and we were doing good. We were cutting back. And it seemed like we were cutting back until my last Costco visit, and that pushed us over the edge. Costco is bad for me. It really is. Sam's Club, I'm good with. Costco just has too many extra nice things that I want and that we end up buying. And I need to stay away from Costco. Paper plates, plastic, soap, all that kind of stuff. 97, 13, and 25. Home Products 207.78 and 298. I'm going to give you a little description of what Home Products is, because invariably somebody will type in a question and say, well, what's your Home Products? What does that even mean? What are you breaking it down? So I'll show you a breakdown. I got another whiteboard. Pet Products 85, 188, and 110. And that's what normally Tractor Supply bird seed. I get my Dr. Esley's cat litter from Amazon. And I get what do you call those, pellets? The pine pellets we use for some of the cats will use that, and they actually reduced the cost to $5 at Tractor Supply for a big bag. I thought the price was going up. They actually reduced it to $5, and it wasn't a sale either. But the bird seed hasn't been on sale in a while, and I just ended up getting one bag. But I need to buy some more bird seed. So Pet Products was $150. Let's bring this down a little bit without falling over. Entertainment, $150. Miscellaneous, we were at minus 56 because I had some lottery winnings. $360 last month, and that was mostly the $360, and I put that under miscellaneous, was her passport. So she got the passport and the card, and that cost us some money, so I put that under miscellaneous. This time I put it under Home Products for some reason. I don't know why, but that's what I did. So that was the big thing, was her passport, which we won't have that because, as you can see, we only had 104 in miscellaneous, and I broke that down too. So $39.56 is our total. And if I didn't mention, at the top of the board, as you can see, I get $25.85 gross on my Social Security. She gets $12.91 gross, so that's $38.76. We don't take, the only thing that comes out is the Medicare. The $370 total comes out of the Medicare, out of those checks. I don't think I'm going to get taxed, so I don't take anything out for taxes, because I can make up to around $6,000 without being taxed. Ohio does not tax Social Security. So no reason really for us to take out, and interest and dividends and all that. We don't take out more than $6,000. So technically we're in pretty good shape. Now I'm just getting my taxes done, and they'll be done in a couple weeks, and I'll see how everything affects everything. But for right now, we don't need to take anything out, although that could change once I see my taxes. See how much I got to pay. So that's miscellaneous, and then, like I said, we're at $39.56, so we're down $80 this month, which isn't bad. Now here's a breakdown. Let me switch sides here, try to get out of that light. So here's a breakdown. We've got Home Products. The passport was $160. I bought plastic containers. So, hey, look at this. See these plastic containers? These are the Costco plastic containers. I really love them because, they have the ones, the solid ones, that you can't see inside of them. And I said from now on, forget that. I'm not buying them unless I can see inside the container. So Costco has 3 for like 18 bucks. And they go on sale normally, but I always miss the sale. So I went ahead and got 6 of those. So about 36 bucks. Mulch, I got some mulch and some soil. I got 10 bags when they're on sale at Home Depot. So that was 77 bucks. Charcoal at Costco, you get the 2 big bags of charcoal for $18. And tomato food, I got at a local, what they call Mark's discount store. That was 7 bucks for, what do they call that? Tone something, tomato food or something. Miscellaneous, our stormwater runoff, always fun to talk about. Yeah, when the rain comes down off my roof, I get charged for it. So, 8 bucks. HP ink, $5. I have a subscription program where I get charged $5 every month, and they send me the ink whenever I run low. And they do limit your amount of pages, etc., but it's definitely within, we stay within that limit all the time. So for $5, if you look at the price of cartridges now, it's crazy. I am thinking about going to the Eco Tank. I think Epson has the big Eco Tank. Looking at that because Sam's Club just had a sale on those color printers. But we do a lot of black and white. So we do have a laser printer. Because people ask. And I said, yeah, we do have a laser printer that we use primarily. And because we primarily print in black and white. But when we want color, we use the other printer. So cartridges are expensive. So we pay the $5 a month for that. Hair products, 21 bucks. Amazon, 12. Birthday cards, 8 bucks. A haircut, 25. Buzz is good for 2 months. And vitamins, we got at Costco, they just had a sale on multivitamins over 50 years old, multivitamin, and some Alaskan salmon oil or something like that. It's in the pink label. And those were both on sale this past week. So we picked those up, but that's 25 bucks. So that's where we're at. Not bad. You know, we're $12 ahead for 4 months. That's not bad. The bad part is, and this is where retirees, you got to be careful because on a past video, I said that for the next 10, 15, maybe 20 years, I'm going to need about $75,000, maybe 2 cars, HVAC system. Those are going to be my big ones. Maybe a washer and dryer. I just put in all these appliances and stuff and just figured out base costs. We just got our roof done, and our roofing is, you know, I put in like 10,000, but people are telling me 25 to 30 is a norm out where they're at. So that's a big chunk of money. But I figured between now and my my death date, I'm thinking that we're going to need somewhere between 50 and 75,000, and that would include 2 used cars. And you know, I figured, okay, you know, it's like 75 grand. If you have 75 grand, you can kind of make it through, right? Well, yesterday we spent 5 grand on a electrical upgrade. We got the panel upgraded. The bathroom I'm remodeling. I've got that set up because it had old knob and tube. And we got another extension out for a freezer. And now it has its own line. And then we switched off of the washer and dryer, or the washing machine used to be on the same circuit as the dishwasher upstairs. So those were separated, and that was all about 5 grand. So that was an expense that if I hadn't have taken the wall apart to redo the bathroom, I probably would not have spent the money on upgrading the electrical. So there's always going to be these surprises that come around. And another big one that hasn't happened to us yet, but a couple people have told me that the cost of cutting down a tree, if there's a really large tree and they have to get cranes involved and the workers, that can cost you thousands and thousands of dollars to have a tree taken down. And at our age, folks, we're not climbing that tree. We're not doing it. So that's another big expense that could happen. I think the little things I can, you know, I got control of. I feel comfortable. But some of these oddball things are going to happen, and that's the way it's going to be. But for now, living within Social Security, the 2 checks, we're making it. And we were about 1,000 last year. Hey, when the market goes down, but I only took out 1,000, I can just not worry about that money in the market. I don't have to do any changes because I don't need it. I won't need it. Let it just do what it's doing. I'm going to do what I'm doing. And I think at the end of the day, everything works out. And if not, you go to plan B. So anyway, that's where we're at. Buzz's Retirement Garage. We'll see you next month, and we'll see how we do. Take care.